In the name of Allah, beneficent and merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. I'd like to greet you all in the greeting words of peace of Islam alaikum. Welcome to another edition of JAKQ Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. I am your host and moderator, Brother Jackie Muhammad, and we want to welcome you to another exciting show. We have another exciting show. You know, tonight is Tuesday at 7. That's JAKQ Brothers time. Look, I want to introduce some great brothers here that we have with us. We are changing the narrative, so let's get right to it. Man, way in the jungle deep. Our brother is overseas. He's checking in.
Bro, Jackie.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me?
You're speeding. It's speeding.
Can you hear me?
Your whole network.
Much it's better now.
We got you now. We got you. Go ahead.
I'm plugged in. I'm plugged in. I apologize, family. You know, the enemy is doing his job, and we're gonna work too. We're gonna continue to work through it, do the best we can. Right. But definitely, I'm plugged in. I would like to first introduce our brother. We call him a world traveler, but he has proved himself to be a world traveler for real. He's coming to us at 1 o'clock in the morning, way in the jungle deep, like Dolomite used to say. He's way in Africa. Our brother is in Rwanda. He is hanging with the Hutus and the Tutsis. Let's bring on our brother Ahmed B.I. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam. My name is Brother Ahmed. I don't know how good my sound is going to be. I'm out here in Rwanda, Africa, spreading the word. You know, they asked me the other day, who's Malcolm X? I was like, hey, it's time to teach. It's time to teach.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Hey, I'm here. Thank you all for taking time on joining the show. We have a great brother. We have great hosts. We're going to have a great show. A lot of information, a lot of knowledge. I'm pretty sure you will enjoy the show this evening. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, dear brother, and thank you for getting up 1 o'clock in the morning, keeping your word bond. That's what I'm talking about. And let's introduce our next brother. Our brother is a native from Atlanta. Sharp brother, smart brother, very highly intelligent man, and I'm very honored to be acquainted with our brother. This is Brother Kawi. Introduce yourself, soldier.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the JAKQ Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. Thank you, Brother Ahmed, for getting rid of that sleep, making sure you get on this show, brother. Praise be to Allah. Brother Jackie, you're the right man for the job, and we got a great one for you today. Matter of fact, this subject that we're talking on today is highly recommended for this particular person. So please enjoy the show. You get your notepad out, take some good notes. He about to make it happen. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And now, last but not least, our brother and your brother, Savannah born, highly intelligent, highly motivated brother, my brother and your brother. Don't play no radio. He don't play the game, but that's my brother, Brother Kadeem.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, Brother Jackie. Welcome to another edition of JAKQ Brothers Present Let Us Make Man. Brother Jackie, I already told you I'm your brother Kadeem Amir Muhammad. We got another hot show for you all today. We have our brother Rizza. Rizza Islam. Listen, man, tune in. It's Tuesday night. It's 7 o'clock. You ain't got nothing else to do. Damn the NBA. We got here. We talking about respect and protect of the black woman. But to all of those who are listening to our show, if you are on YouTube, we ask you please to hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. And if you are if you're on YouTube, you can type your questions in the chat on YouTube or in the comment section, and it will come right here to this platform. For those of you who are listening to us on Facebook, we strive to monitor the Facebook, but it's kind of a little difficult to monitor Facebook and pay attention to our show and our guests. But if you want to ask a question on the Facebook, if we're monitoring it, we'll definitely be able to ask you questions of our brother. You can also see scrolling at the bottom of the screen there is our Cash App. And we ask every single one of you, please support our podcast. We have a lot of things coming up. We have a lot of projects we're currently working on, and your support has been great. So please support the podcast. Our Cash App is $JAKQ Bros. That's JAKQ BROS. Brother Jackie, take it away. Let's get busy.
Yes, sir. Let's get busy. Let's get busy. Well, look, my brother said we have the right brother at the right time with the right subject. And our subject tonight is
Brother Jackie.
Tell you can't hear me again.
Nah, you just sound like the road runner. We're gonna help you out though. Yeah, you good right now. We here for you, brother. Okay. You good?
Take off then, brother, because if you can't hear me, I apologize, family.
You good. Handle your business.
I'm good. Okay, look. We got a good brother for you tonight, a young soldier. You know, I was happily surprised at how young our brother is, and he is making airways. He's a trailblazer, young brother, man, doing this thing, and we're proud of him. We're proud to be a part of the same brotherhood that he's a part of, and we want to introduce our brother. Our brother, you know, he don't need no introduction, but maybe he does to some. We'll present him, our brother Rizza Islam. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Oh, praise be to Allah. Alaikum salam. Alaikum salam to the great JAKQ brothers and our brother all the way down in Rwanda. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Brother, meet and overcome all obstacles in our path. That's what the FOI do. So yes, I just truly am thankful to be on again. This is the second time I'm on this beautiful podcast show, and I'm just thankful. I'm thankful to have brothers like yourselves who are also on the front lines. We're all across the country and outside of the country doing this work on the front lines. So it is a very big mission, but we have a teacher that has taught us well. So all praises to Allah. The topic, from my understanding, as you were saying, is the protection of the Black woman, which that's in our nature. It should be a natural thing for us. That should be nothing but smiles and happy emotions when it comes to this topic coming from the brothers. So, you know, inshallah, I'll be able to add my few cents to this discussion.
Absolutely, brother. Well, that is the topic for us, brothers and sisters. It is the respect first and protection of the Black woman. So, Brother Rizza, we want to start with what does respect and protect of the Black woman looks like?
First of all, let's be very basic. It looks like opening her door. It looks like carrying her bags. It looks like, for how it used to be back in high school, carrying her books. It looks like looking at her in her eyes before we look anywhere else. It looks like addressing her as sister, addressing her as even if we want to say queen at times, but you know that has been quite manipulated. You know, we kind of watered that one down, so we'll say sister. It looks like standing up for her in public and in private, so that she knows that she is respected and looked at the way we want to respect and look at ourselves. The same way we're taught in the Nation of Islam as brothers is want for our brother what we want for ourselves. What that also means, I want for my sister too what I want for myself. So I have to respect her. If I want to respect myself, which we should be striving to respect ourselves, I must absolutely respect my sister also. So it looks like simply doing unto others as you would have others do unto you, or the golden rule, or what Jesus taught and what all the prophets have taught. It literally is that principle of fair dealing, and our sisters need that, and they are the ones who deserve that the most. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that out of all the love you give, the ultimate love that you must give must first go to the mother. And they said, well, after that, who deserves your love? He said, your mother. And they said, well, dear prophet, after that, who deserves the love? He said, your mother. And they said, well, okay, dear prophet, after that, who deserves the love? He said, your father. So at least 3 times. And now, as we're talking Nation of Islam, 75% of the work is done with the woman. So 3 times that amount must go to her first. And that means we must respect her over and over and over again. And I don't find it to be a coincidence that it is 3 times, which 3 represents the number of trial, which means it may not be easy to respect her sometimes, because she may not respect herself. But we as brothers still need to demonstrate that respect, even though sometimes they may call themselves out of their own name as a term of endearment using the B word. They may call themselves ratchet, or they may call themselves these low down degenerate descriptions, but we can't join in on that. We can't do that. So it may be difficult, is what I'm saying, to respect sometimes our sisters, even when they choose not to disrespect themselves. But we are the brothers, we are the men, and so we must be the example and we must be the leader by continuing to respect them, even if they do not respect themselves. And the protection side, brother, that should go without saying. The protection is paramount. It is above all else. There's nothing else that needs to be said, which is, even if the sister, and I'm being real specific because a lot of brothers, not in the ranks I'm saying, but just males, I've been hearing a lot of them defending abuse of the woman. Defending abuse of the woman.
Yes, sir.
Well, she shouldn't have said that. Well, she shouldn't have looked that way. Well, she shouldn't have walked that. Okay, hold on. Wait, hold on one second.
So we talking about victim blaming.
I mean, brother, it's like,
yes, sir.
What nonsense is this?
Come on now.
The sister, right after she has come upon a negative circumstance. Okay, we can talk about accountability later, but can we at least make sure she's protected and safe first? Can we make sure she's in the car going home and we get her to a safe place to where she's sitting down and she's recuperating? And then later on, maybe the next day, then we can discuss accountability. You don't discuss accountability in the moment or in the heat of battle when a person is receiving some negative circumstance, or maybe receiving what you may feel is their karma, or what she caused it. She wore this. That doesn't justify a damn thing. So our response has to be, first, again, the respect and the protection. So after we protect her, get her situated, and she is well able to be within her right mind, she has water, she's fine, she's safe. Then later on, we can discuss the accountability, but we must protect our sister, period. And there should not be any women out here who are unprotected. There shouldn't be. Ideally, we know it's difficult at times, but ideally, our sisters should be protected. And that's just really, that's the basic foundation of that statement.
No, I like that, brother. Thank you, brother. I would like to clear this word respect. Now this is Oxford definition. So, this is a feeling of deep admiration for someone, something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. Now, the Black woman has carried us for 400 years. We as Black men have been under attack since we were babies and put into a certain condition. And as Willie Lynch said, he said they will remain in this condition unless a phenomenon take place, a natural phenomenon take place. Now, we in the Nation of Islam, we celebrate the coming of Master Fard Muhammad, a natural phenomenon that came and set justice in the earth by raising up the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
And have no troubles again, Brother Jackie.
You kidding me, man?
I think you heard most of it.
White man don't like you, Brother Jackie. The white man don't like you.
Man. Yeah, I think you got it right, Brother Rizza.
It's fair enough.
No, hold on. I'm trying to set it up.
You good?
Okay, I'm gonna come back.
Well, I have a question.
To me then, bro. Set it up.
Go ahead, because when I think of respect and protection of the Black woman, I think on the condition of the Black man. We have to, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that when God created himself out of the triple darkness of space, that he actually went back and studied himself. And he wanted us to do the same thing. Have you find in your travels around the nation that Black men are not willing to study themselves so that we can become more acquainted with the feminine side of ourselves, that is the woman? And if so, how do you encounter that with men?
Very good question. I'll say the first thing is, what I've seen generally is brothers who are willing and ready to not only protect but respect the sisters, number one, but two, the side of us that has been most misunderstood by us is the feminine aspect, because of our misunderstanding that it is powerful and it is not weakness. We've thought femininity equals weakness. So I ain't with all that.
Right.
It's like femininity is not the dominant when it comes to the male. The male side is of course the masculine. So we are the divine masculine embodied with the feminine that is secondary, but that is a part of us. That is the part of the analytical side, that thinking and calculating side. That's the divine feminine, the emotional side. That's a part of that. The warrior side, the power drive side, you know, the destroying and creating side, that is the more masculine side, because we are out in this field. So we are out here at war. We can't be more emotional than we are confrontational or fighting against, you know, evil and wickedness. So we have to have that balance. So I've noticed sometimes brothers are more so standoffish because they just don't understand. That's all. It's just a misunderstanding. The more we understand and learn as we study ourselves as the God did, which we are taught in the Nation of Islam, to do what the God did, just as the Christian church teaches to follow in the walks of Jesus, or the Buddhist teaches, you know, to follow in the walks of Siddhartha Gautama or the Buddha. Is it skipping over there, brothers?
No, you're good, brother.
Okay,
that's Ahmed from Rwanda that need to stay muted till you gonna talk.
Yes, the enemy really don't like us right now. They're like, y'all connected from Africa at the same time. Oh, brother, they own us right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So that's what I've noticed, is there has been a misunderstanding of what the divine feminine is in relationship to the divine masculine principle as embodied in the man himself and ourselves. We have to learn more about what that connection means so that we don't shy away from it, but we can actually embrace it, so that we can actually become that full, both sides or twin sides of the one God, as the most honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us.
Wonderful.
So Brother Rizza, earlier you were saying some of how does protecting the black woman and respecting the black woman look? I had issues or situations before where, you know, that motivated this question. First, how do you protect a woman that do not want to be protected by a brother, or how do a brother deal with a woman or sister that don't want to be protected? How do he actually coexist with her when she's not allowing him to protect her?
Beautiful questions. And the funny thing is, that's the first question that normally pops up. How do you protect a woman that doesn't want to be protected? Well, of course, the obvious solution, or should I say the obvious response to that, number one, is you can't force protection on someone who doesn't want it, just as you can't force health on someone who doesn't want it, money on someone who doesn't want it. If the person just doesn't want something, then for you to force it on them will make them resent that thing. So of course, but the ultimate understanding is finding out the why behind her not wanting protection, because no woman in her right mind will reject protection. It's not natural. She'll embrace protection. So the question is, has she been hurt under the guise or the veil of protection? Has a man come to protect her but actually harmed her instead, but used the title of protection as a scientific method to get under her wall of protection for herself?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If you confront that, a lot of sisters have been truly damaged and harmed by men who have come in the name of help. That's always how a devil does. He comes in the name of help. I'm here to help you, wearing white or the innocence of a child. I want to come and help you with this. This is something that I notice you may need. I can provide the solution for that. It's always using the name of help. And you end up damaging a person because you came using a false pretense when you should have just told the damn truth. So now when a good man, a genuine brother, a genuine upstanding man, striving, God-loving, God-fearing man, comes with a sincere heart and says, sister, no, I just noticed you were walking by yourself and it's pretty dark out here. I don't want anything from you. Do you mind? I don't want to know where you live. I just really want to make sure you get home safe. She's like, I don't want nothing from you. Get that away from me. Or, you know, let's say y'all live together and she's still just fighting against you. That is because she was harmed by someone who said they came to help. And that is what we have to always do, is ask more from the sisters as to why you want protection, and did someone harm you when they said they came to protect you? And I guarantee you, brothers, almost 9 times out of 10, you will find out that some male damaged that sister under the guise of help. And once you find that point, then you can help her to separate you from them. And then, God willing, protection will be embraced rather than rejected.
Oh, beautiful answer. I like that, brother.
That's probably why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us, there's no such thing as a no good woman, but where you see one, She's been made no good by no good man. You know, I
Right.
struggled with that when, you know, early in my early years of coming into the Nation of Islam, you know, with the idea, because when you grow up in the world, you know, there are varying circumstances. You see brothers harming women. You see women that in your mind, you think, well, she deserved that because of how she conducts her own life, right? But but knowing what I know now in these teachings, what do you think a man must do to even deserve a woman?
Beautiful. See, now that's called a pregnant question, beloved. That's a pregnant question right there.
Yes, sir. Let's bring some birth.
That's right. That's
The
right.
answer.
Come on. First thing is, well, our supreme wisdom teaches that we must qualify ourselves for positions that await us. So we got to become qualified. First of all, are we able to maintain? Are we able to sustain? Are we able to protect? Are we able to provide? Do we have a steady job or a business? Are we making enough money? Do we have our own living residence? Are we stable mentally? It's another thing that a lot of us got to get, you know, got to be humble about. Some brothers out here are kind of off up here, but they think I got a lot of money. I got cars and clothes. I got all that stuff. Okay, that's cool for the financial, you know, area, but mentally, brother, how patient are you? How short is your fuse? Do you have a real strong mouth, and do we talk to women like we talk to men? You know, are we always talking to the sisters like we talking to the brothers, as if they the soldiers in the race? You know, we have to self-evaluate that so that we can give ourselves a checklist of honesty before we even step into the arena of speaking with our sister or even going into courtship or relationship. Because again, we may end up damaging a very good sister, which they're good, period. But we may damage her more because of our lack of humility to look at ourselves so that we can face the demon of self. We always want to face the devil outside of self, point at the devil outside of self, demon outside of self, but we do not want to look at, confront, point at the devil or demon within self. And that is what we must do if we ever want to qualify ourselves for a woman, ever. So I think that's the first thing we have to do, brother, is look at all of the negatives within self first. That way we can perfect, go through those, so that when we do approach a sister, we will be balanced enough to handle what she comes with. Because again, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught the honorable Mrs. Farrakhan that a woman is a trial. Yes. She's a trial. She's our helpmeet. She also brings peace and quiet of mind and consolation. She is the one who brings us that comfort, but she also brings us through trial because she's supposed to perfect us, and she's supposed to expose our weaknesses so that we can grow through them. So we have to be willing to handle both. But in order to be willing to do that, we must first be willing to handle both within our own self so that we can cleanse that and then go into interaction with her.
Yes, sir. So then,
go
ahead, Brother Kawi. Just one more, Brother Kawi, if I can. You used the word maintenance. So I want to read from the Holy Quran, something that we hear all the time, but we only stop at the first part, where Allah says in the Holy Quran in Surah 4, verse 34, right? Men are the maintainers of women. We generally stop right there, but it's not a period, it's a comma. Then it says, with what Allah has made some of them to excel others, and with what they spend out of their wealth. When I think on maintenance, though, the immediate mind of sisters and brothers, it goes right to finances. Now, that is something that cannot be neglected, but I don't believe that's first. What do you think when you hear that particular scripture?
First thing is maintenance. The first thing when it comes to maintenance is spiritual maintenance. The spiritual must be the first. It has to be the first. It is the majority. It is the origin. It is the original. It is the most valuable. We have to make sure that we are able to maintain her spiritually in order for there to be a mental maintenance, an emotional maintenance, a physical maintenance. The woman she don't care nothing about your car, your house, and all your money if you can't help her to understand what God is, who he is, and how she can have a better connection to him. When she finds that interesting at all, and she's trying to figure out, do you know anything about God? I mean, you got money, all that is cool. Like, yeah, I'm cool with that for the first couple months, right? It may be cool. But after that, I need a little something deeper. Do you know anything about God? Do you read scriptures? We ain't prayed together. You never talk about God, really. I never even seen you pray over your food. Do you believe in God? I'm just telling you, this is where it starts going, because the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan said that the woman is always striving to be better, to equal herself up to God.
Up to God. That's
So
right.
she's constant, whether she knows it or not. There's something deep about her because she is the second self of God. She's constantly striving to be closer to the first. So she has to constantly, it's a deep drive about her. That's why she's never fulfilled. And us as men, if we know what that is, then we will do our best to be an example to help her to move closer towards that. So that, I would say, is the first thing that comes to mind when I hear maintenance. All the rest of the stuff comes later.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah, brother. And in addition to just the spiritual maintenance, because that has to be first, there's the mental, there's the physical,
Right.
and I'm gonna pause because I got more that lead to another question, but I know Brother Kawi did have a question. Go right ahead, Brother Kawi.
Oh, yes, sir. Appreciate that, brother Kadeem. Look, I'm not trying to get anybody mad with this question right here, brother Rizza, but I just want
Yes.
to hear your perspective, man.
That's all right.
So brother Kadeem hit on maintenance. So for some reason, like when brothers make it big, oh man, they want to leave this sister and go get a white girl.
Come on.
That has
Come on, brother.
always puzzled me, because we was raised by we were birthed by a black woman, raised by one, taught by one. But then you get some money, you get a little success, and then you go get a white girl to validate for you can show people, look what I got, like it's validating your success or something like that. And it's got to be something internally wrong with the black man. I mean, just take a stab at that, and if it is something internally wrong, or if it's I mean, what's your take on it? How you gonna handle that?
First thing I'll say is, brother, there is no group of men in any other culture who prefer another woman in another culture outside of their own, except for the black man. There is no other group. Collectively, I'm speaking now. There are individuals in every group, of course, but collectively as a group, there is no other group of men. The Chinese man will never prefer the white woman first. The Indian man would never prefer the white woman first. That's not how this goes. The African man as a group would never prefer. No. You are dealing with a collective traumatic circumstance that is cyclical, meaning it keeps happening because we are still within the vicinity of the area of which it originated from, meaning we are around the same people who are a part of all the levels of our traumatic experiences, from slavery all the way down. We have been connected traumatically. This is how deep people have to understand this. A lot of brothers get money, and all of a sudden a white girl not only appears around them, but pops up in many cases because she was propped up and set up to be around him. NBA players, NFL players, new artists, new actors, etc. You mean to tell me all of a sudden when he signed his contract at this party, there's 20 to 30 different white women, 2 of them are finishing his sentences. They're bringing him his favorite drink, his favorite food. They know his childhood. They know his favorite color before he even tells them. All this stuff. You mean to tell me they just all of a sudden are there and they're just that telepathic? No, sir. I argue that there is conspiracy. Part one is, because this is layers, all right? These are layers to this thing. Part one, there's a conspiracy dealing with black men who become rich and famous. And when it comes to the government and how they push to make sure that the wealth that they are investing in this man is going to go towards their system and not towards his own community.
Wow. I never considered that. Wow.
That's a definite, right? There are layers to this. They put women around. It's agents, just how they do that when it comes to rich black men, powerful black men, revolutionary, educated black men. They place agents, and the agents are not just males. And that's what we got to get to our head. The most deadly of the assassins and agents have been women, is what we need to get to our head, because they have access to areas that men don't have access to. So that's one, is that they have set them up. That's one. Two, because of the trauma that we have gone through, a lot of black men have been hurt by their own mother. They've been hurt by their auntie. They've been hurt by their sister. They've been hurt by their cousin, molested by them, beaten by them, abandoned by them. A lot of us have been through these type of circumstances in our community, and that births itself in the image and the circumstance of Now I have money. Now I have an ability and a means with which to escape the area of trauma, which is Black women, because Black women have harmed me. Black women have done these things to me, and I have never had a way to get away from them, a means to get away from them, something that helps me to get away from them. Now I do, and I'm going to run as far as I can. And mind you, it's not a conscious thing for the majority. Majority of the time, it's not conscious. It's very subconscious. It is a pain response mechanism. It is a stimulus response mechanism, and it's very psychological. And that's what people have to really understand, because they're like, how does this dude just get up and go mess with a white woman like that? Like, just randomly? No, it's layers to this thing. So when you talk to him, you realize his mama abandoned him, or his mama used to beat him and say, nigga, you ain't gonna never be nothing, just like your good for nothing daddy.
But Rizza, it's almost like you laid out an excuse for the brother to go to the white girl.
No, it's layers, brother. We on layer 2. We got more layers now. So it's layers to it. Then, of course, after the trauma, after the collective circumstance, after the means to escape, etc., then, of course, you have the psychological warfare and indoctrination from a child that television has been pushing on our children and our young boys, that these artists have been pushing on our children and young boys, that this entire system has been pushing, that white is right. The white woman is the epitome of beauty. Go get you a white girl. Ooh, look at this white girl. They put it in cartoons. They put it in movies. They put it on magazines. So these young boys are watching people that they admire, the rappers. They admire them. They look up to these rappers, and they see nothing but white girls around with gold and jewelry and money. And they're like, oh, man, I want to be like him. But being like him requires jewelry, money, and a white girl. Okay, this is what it communicates to the mind. So these boys are like, okay, in order for me to be successful, like that rapper that I like, I need money, I need jewelry, I need a white girl, a car, a big house. All right, so that's the checklist that gets injected into the mind. So as they grow, they aspire for that, because if they don't have those things, it means they're not successful. This is, again, another psychological part. Then, of course, after all of that, once you get through these layers of things, then, of course, you just got the self-hating Negro who just wants to go ahead and get him a white girl because he genuinely feels like, wait, it's just my type. But you have to go through the layers. Who just like, you know what? These Black women talk too much. She making me have too much responsibility. I ain't trying to hear all that. I want to be a lazy nigga, and I want to just go ahead and do whatever I want to do without having any type of responsibility whatsoever. I know a white girl ain't gonna hold me accountable. I know a white girl gonna let me do whatever I want to do, sexually and otherwise. I know I can put my hands on a white girl. She ain't gonna say nothing. I can call out her name. She ain't gonna say nothing. She gonna make me a sandwich without even trying to argue, because that's just how she was made to a degree, and that's just how she operates like that. Because that's how she's been done by her own white man since the beginning of time. So I'm gonna go get me one of those, because I don't really feel like being a man to my highest degree. I'm gonna go get something that doesn't take as much work as it takes being with a Black woman. So yes, sir. Right. So there's layers to it, but at the end of the day, you do got some of those Negroes too.
That's right. I wanted to. I remember when I went to college. My homeboy, when he went to college, it was 2 different institutions, but the same scenario. When you were, as an athlete, he was visiting college, right? When you go visit, they take the parents one way and they take the college athlete another way, but it's generally white women that take you on the tour. See, they start that athlete fresh off in college with them white girls. Them white girls do your homework. You just think about a basketball player is not, he ain't doing homework. You going to college basketball, you playing 2-3 games a week. So the white girls is doing their homework for them. So it starts on that level. But I wanted to read something really quick to your point, brother Rizza, from Minister Ava's book, Real Love. He writes, and I'm quoting, "We know the truth that a nation can rise no higher than its woman." But I'm sorry, I'm going to go to the next paragraph. "Since the turn of the century, the European female has become an alluring image of femininity that holds a hypnotic power over the Black man. This power is one which actually defies physical beauty. Thus, we see many of our men proudly display even extremely unattractive, unkempt white women. They seem to conquer him without trying. Because of him, any white woman is the embodiment of all the fantasies he has held since the loss of his power." So it's like, in the mind to what you were saying, is like a man feels empowered because he's there to the knowledge of stuff, that having a white woman gives him power. So he feels like he almost has like this sense of I have arrived. And that's an attitude and that disposition of mind that has to die, cannot exist if we are to be who we are as men. I just wanted to say that to support what it is that you had just said, dear brother. Minister Ava definitely dropped some jewels on that. Yes,
it almost forces me to ask a question sometimes, and I'm not necessarily talking about the believers or members of the Nation of Islam, because we have been in, the love for black women has been kind of like ingrained in us.
That's fact.
But it's almost like based on what Brother Kadeem was saying, and based on what you were saying earlier about these layers, is that this is out there now, but it's like almost like the question: do the black man love the white woman more than he loved the black woman? If you're not awakened or conscious, do he love that white woman more than he loved the sister? It's almost like, because as soon as I get successful, now let me go get a white girl. That to me is nuts. To me, it should be like, let me go to my own community and get me a sister. But I mean, I don't know. What you think about that? Do the black man love the white girl that he love his own kind?
It's funny, that is a question that was posed to me on Cannon's class when I was discussing this with Nick Cannon, Brother Nick Cannon. That 1 minute clip is what went viral all over the internet. They talked about that all on the Breakfast Club. They talked about it on Hollywood Unlocked. They talked about it because that question hit so heavy. It struck a nerve so deep that they were like, you know what?
So this is not the first place you heard this question. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh no, it's not the first place, brother. No, and that's why I laughed for a second, because for a question like that to be posed, one, there has to be a level of evidence that is so blatant that it would validate it. It has to be something that is making it known or obvious that at least this is what it looks like. But is that what it is? Because I'm saying this. So tell me, is that what it is, or is it something else? So what I'm telling you is that what I'm saying to your question is that there is some evidence. There's a large amount of evidence in this world right now that makes it seem as though that can potentially be the situation. But is that the situation is a question. The answer I'll say is absolutely not. The black man, as a man, as a culture, as a collective, does not love the white woman more than the black woman. No, sir. I will say that the black man, in order to resolve his trauma, his pain, and even his lack of ability to maintain the black woman, has a easier ability to maintain a white woman, to be around a white woman, to deal with a white woman. It comes with less work. It comes with less maintenance. It comes with less responsibility. She has no connection to your culture, no connection to the upliftment of your people. She has nothing to do with us. So therefore, it is like going from taking a test in the 12th grade to taking a test in 2nd grade. It is so much easier. So I'm not making an excuse. That's what I see. And this has nothing to do with the love side. It's like, no. That brother has been broken down and he's been indoctrinated, as Dr. Abel was saying, to where he believes sincerely, some of us, that she is the epitome of beauty. She is the epitome of an accomplishment. Because I'm not a white man, I'm a black man. What is the ultimate way to deem myself worthy of being considered in that realm of white men? Well, I must have a white woman. You see, that is my prize. Just as him getting my woman is deemed the prize or the booty, the spoils of war. It's two different things. I have this white woman because it makes me feel as though I am a glorious, conquered, accomplished man. That white man has my woman primarily for numbers purposes because he has to reinfuse his gene pool in order to exist on this planet. Whether he knows it or not. There's a difference with the reasoning here. So with us, we have to kill the mentality that the white woman is the epitome of greatness, beauty, accomplishment, and any of that. No, the epitome is the original. So it's not to hate nobody. Okay, the white woman is the white woman. Hey, there you go. I'm not saying we hate you. I'm saying I love the black woman first because I'm a black man. And that's perfectly okay. Just like the white man should love his white woman, Indian man loves his Indian woman, Chinese man loves his Chinese woman. All of them love their woman. They don't even have to say it. And the majority of them don't say it. But everyone only has a problem when a black man opens his mouth and says that he loves the black woman. That's when it becomes a problem. But everybody else can demonstrate it and say it or whatever, and there's never an issue. So no, I don't see the black man loving the white woman more. I see the black man being so destroyed to where he goes to the white woman more because it is so much easier than having to repair his own family and his own people.
Okay. Can I be heard?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's interesting. You said that. Oh, yes, sir. Go ahead. We hear you loud and clear. I'm glad you back.
Go ahead, brother Kadeem. Go ahead, brother Kadeem. Go ahead.
That brought me to another very point. Just interesting. I just happen to have been reading this book. Minister Ava made another point in her book with what brother just said. And she said the real key to this relationship is the man's inherent need to be worshipped and adored. Take it or let it alone. If you don't look up to and sincerely admire your man, he will find someone who does. This need in the black man, most of whom are not fully aware of it themselves, is manipulated. The black man's apparent desire for white women perpetuates the myth of black inferiority and prevents him from achieving real power. Black entertainers, athletes, and successful businessmen are encouraged and enticed into such a relationship so that their high income is not invested in any real change in their community. So this is, it's like this is a game that black men without the knowledge of self are just caught up in true pawns in a game of life called chess, that they are not the kings of it. They're in a game where people know, if you have a true knowledge of self, those that manipulate it, they know if you're ignorant.
The 10%.
They know if they'll try you with the white woman.
That's
You ignorant, they'll put her around you just to see your response. And they done built her. I'm from Georgia. When I was growing up, every white person I knew ain't had no black. None. They building white women today, and it reminds me of that lecture the minister did in '96, the divine destruction of America. He said a white woman in the gym working out so she can trap her food.
That's right.
She looked totally different today, brother. They building them, and foolish men chasing them.
Well,
be careful.
I had a question. Can I be heard again?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In the aims of Islam, in the Nation of Islam, the 9th aim of Islam, it says to have protection for the black woman. So that means that protection has to already be in place for her. So I'm wondering, now that we have pointed out a lot of issues, I'm wondering how can we as brothers, even in different groups, AKAs, the Bloods and the Crips, Hebrew Israelites, just regular brothers walking around, what can we do now to make that the narrative that we are going to respect and protect our women? What are some of the things, and this to all of us, anybody who want to chime in, what can we do now, to make this narrative, spread this narrative out? I mean, our sisters have, she's taking the brunt of all the pain that's going on right now. Everybody is Can you hear me? Did you hear that? Did you hear that first question? What can we do to change the narrative? Let's start there. Anyone?
Yes, man. Go ahead, Rizza.
Well, I'll say first thing is it has to be demonstrated more and more and more. In the same way we promote videos and post videos of other things that we're doing, we have to post videos showing us literally, brothers, carrying her bags, opening doors, saying peace, sister, how you doing? Showing, literally demonstrating, like an actual video, a tutorial of how to respect women 101 type of video. We have to go back to the basics on this and just make that the trend. We did this over in Atlanta 2 days ago when I was out there at a major event. This was the 4th event in 3 days. This event has so many sisters in it. And even before that, pardon me, when we did the screening of Buck Breaking in Atlanta on Saturday, 2 or 3 days ago, 400 plus people came out. I paused. I had them pause the documentary in the middle of it, turn on the lights in the building, and I said, there are women and elders in the back of the room standing all across the room. Brothers, if you have a chair available, can you please stand up out of your chair, raise your hand so that the sister or the elder can take that spot, and you go and take their spot standing in the back of the room.
Absolutely.
When I say, brother, when I say at least 100 brothers stood up out of their chairs and got up and let them sisters come down the aisle, the elders helped them to come down the aisle and replace their seat with them. And they said, no, you take this seat. That right there shocked the whole room. The women were like, they just got up and gave up their seat. That right there is what we have to do more of.
Come on now.
We just got to demonstrate it, brother. You know how that's how we're taught as FOI. Take charge of our post and all for property and view. We got to take charge of it. What is our post? The protection, the respect, and the protection of the Black woman. All right, let's take charge of that. Make sure she has a chair that she can sit in. If I'm sitting down, I don't need to be sitting down. You know how we used to be in on post 5, 6, 7 hours.
That's right.
You know,
that's
if
right.
we're not a man, you know, so that's definitely is something I would say, number one. And brother, to your point, really quick, when you brought up Dr. Ava, to validate that point again, Black men and men naturally, we want to be adored by the woman. Naturally, we want to be adored by her. The problem is sometimes we haven't earned the adoration that we seek, and because of us not earning it, we try to force her to give it to us, and then that makes her resent us and not want to give it to us. And that has been this issue. But 9 times out of 10, if you earn it, you work hard, you do what you have to do, you treat her with respect, you make the money, you're really protecting and maintaining and sustaining her natural inclination is to submit for, is to just give us that consolation of mind, give us, rub our head, rub our back, have the food ready, whatever we need, because that is the exchange that she feels has been put in proper balance. Why shouldn't I help this man? Look at all he's doing for me. I need to go help this man. I don't feel right not helping this man. That's how it is naturally. And the white woman, because that's what the misunderstanding has been, she has not been living in the hood with us, building up all that trauma. She's been living with her white man, building up their trauma. So she more easily can express that submission to us, just as we more easily want that submission to be expressed to us. But the problem is, both of us need to go back to our respective communities and rebuild our relationship with each other, with our own people, so that we can truly enjoy that. I'm not about to run to no white woman, no sir. I'm gonna just build myself up as a Black man, connect to God, and rebuild the relationship with the Black woman, so that we can naturally continue to go into that proper order.
Well, then let's do a little teaching to the brotherhood. Let's teach some of the brothers now. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us, he informed us, he said that the last trick that the white man will pull will be to give us his white woman.
Come on.
Now, you at one time, what was it? Emmett Till supposedly whistled. One brother was looking under a dress it was on the clothesline, hanging to dry out, and they hung it. So now you can walk down the street with her. You can post pictures with her. You can do whatever you want with her. Is this the time that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was speaking of? Is this the last trick that this white man will do before his world crumbles?
I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's ironic that yet here again, this man who they vilified and who they have demonized is right again. The most honorable again, over and over again. Why is she the last trick? And let me make it clear, when we say, or when he says trick, he's not using the derogatory definition of a prostitute.
Come on now, good teaching.
Right.
All right. Because some people
last manipulation.
Come on now.
Manipulation. That trick of being a trickster, a person who manipulates, in order to accomplish a certain goal. That definition. So why would the white woman be classified as the white man's last and final trick? His world coming down in large part has to do with his population. So his numbers are dwindling, literally, as a community. By the year 2042, the demographers of the United States Census Bureau have determined that there will be the minority in America by the year 2042. Do we think that the white man who took this country ever intended to give it back? He wasn't borrowing America. We need to stop playing about this. He took it for him and for his people, progeny, and for his lineage. But now he is realizing and becoming aware of his mortality. So how does he look at this, and how does he reconcile this? Well, you know what? Melanin is the component of life that is primarily within the original people. We know that the black man and black woman have the highest concentration of melanin, or carbon-12, because they are the original people connected to the very universe. And the melanin literally is carbon-12, which is the same molecular composition as the dust from stars. So these people who are native to the planet, I'm not native to the planet as a white man. The very sun itself hates my existence, which is why I can't go out and stand the sun too long. So how can I reconcile this, rectify this, so that I can continue to exist as a human reality? I must reinfuse my genetic gene pool with a higher concentration of melanin. So I must push my white woman onto the black man, so that my great grandchildren will come out mixed, but they're going to survive, and my livelihood, my life germ, will still remain in existence. If I don't do this, I am going to die out numerically if I just do white on white. So their own eugenic, genocidal, insane theories of the pure race, the blonde hair, blue eyed, is the very theory that is pushing them to extinction. So they have to violate their own theory by coming together with black women or black men in order to continue to perpetuate their own existence. And that is the circumstance that we're dealing with. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad saying her being the final trick is much deeper than what we realize, and it has more to do with their actual existence as a human reality than anything else.
So ironically, you asked the question that somebody texted me. Is it more detrimental to the black race or the white race if a black man or woman gets involved with a white man or woman and decide to have babies? So the question is, ultimately, is the trick on us or is the trick on them?
The trick is on them because we are genetically dominant. They are genetically recessive. And this is what Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, may Allah be pleased with our sister, was discussing. And she has been discussing this after studying the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, after studying African psychology, and while studying the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. She used to attend Mas Mariam and listen to the minister, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. And so she came out with the Cress theory, and she determined that what white people ultimately are afraid of is genetic annihilation. And they are trying to run away from that. So by us intermarrying and us having these interracial relationships or having children with white people, it's the biggest trick on them, because our genetics are going to move forward. Theirs is going to move back. We're going to kill them genetically if we have children with them. This is not a racist talk. This is really to educate. It's an actual fact. If you keep having babies with me, you will destroy yourself. That's the reality. So we can't be destroyed. We are the original people who time doesn't exist before we exist. We are the original people, period. So therefore, they have an expiration date. We don't. So that's another reason why I tell people, no, I don't mess with the white woman. And they tried to, Nick Cannon asked me about that. They said, well, Rizza, would you ever mess with a white woman? I said, no, because I don't want to kill her.
That's right.
He said,
that's right.
he thought it was on some OJ stuff. I said, no, brother, I'm not. No, sir. I said,
right. They're gonna die off.
Genetically, she's not going to exist when I want to have children. When it comes to procreation, she's not going to exist. And I know we're just like generally talking about a topic like this, but it really is that. That's what it is. And people have to. Yeah, a lot of white people do understand it too, by the way. So that's why when they said we keep our races pure,
and we don't argue that. And we don't want any silly white brothers out like, well, to go out and do a bum rush of sleeping with a bunch of white women just to kill them off. Don't be that ignorant.
That's what Nick Cannon said too. That's
right.
okay, but now let's talk to our sisters now. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad also said, he said that this white man will try to put his seed in the black woman so that his seed will reach the hereafter. I mean, the black woman, you definitely gonna make it to the hereafter. God definitely have use for you. You are his laboratory. That you're his you're the second self of God. You are his laboratory. He loves you. You definitely will make it to the hereafter. But we have to protect what goes in the hereafter, though. So now let's talk to our sisters who are dating white men. Let's talk about it. You know, Elijah Muhammad said that. Well, that's what his trick is. That's one of his tricks too, because he want to trade. He want to give the white woman to the black man, and then he want to take our sisters and put his seed in her to get to the hereafter. You want to let's
die off. It's the same concept.
That's
but I understand that, but it's his seed though. We talking about his mindset, but his mind is in the seed though. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to add to what Brother Jackie said before you answer, Brother Rizza, because I heard the minister say this: a white woman having a black child is not the same as a black woman having a white child.
Right.
That's two different types of children, even though it's two interracial relationships. That child is not the same, and I think it has to do with a lot of the seed of both men.
Come on now.
That's a fact. It's the seed, and then it is the womb or the miniature universe that it is being cultivated in. Remember, it is the soil that we are referring to when it comes to that seed, and the womb is the soil. So what kind of soil are you impregnating or putting your seed in? It's like when Dr. Ridgely talks about agriculture and talks about how to cultivate and how to become a pure husbandman over your crop. You have to have good soil first. So the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan at Muhammad's Farms, they had a class where they were teaching men and women how to create soil.
Right. And what's your brother name?
Yes, sir.
Will Allen. Yeah, Will Allen. Yes, sir.
And when they were teaching on that, they said, man, how to create soil. So we know about the seed and plant it, but it's like, wait a minute. So you can actually create the soil. Yes. So you have to know what type of soil you are putting your seed in. That's another thing. Right. So as you said, a black woman having a white child is different than a white woman having a black child. Completely different. Completely.
That's right.
So that point of speaking to the sisters on that is, first thing is, the lack of knowledge of self is what is destroying us the most, period.
Come on now.
Period. We don't know who we are. We don't know our history. We don't know who God is. We don't know who the devil is. We don't know the time and what must be done. If we knew all of these points that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad outlined and that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan continues to remind us of, we would not be in these conditions whatsoever in any way, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, morally, financially, agriculturally, etc. We would know what time it is, who God is, who the devil is, and what we're supposed to be doing. So talking to the sisters on that point, come back to the knowledge of self, to the knowledge of who you are. We had a sister from Sierra Leone, Africa, who was at the event on Saturday, who was raised by two white parents. She said it's at the Q&A. She came up in the middle of the aisle, and she said it was hard for me to sit here and watch this film because that was my life. I was raised by white parents in Sierra Leone, Africa. She said, as dark as I am, I didn't know who I was. I was raised by these white parents. And she said, and we told her, be thankful for your parents for raising you. Whoever raised you was able to maintain your life and help, you have food, clothing, and shelter. Be thankful for that, of course, no matter what the color was. However, now, she said, now I'm at that point where I know I have been robbed of the knowledge of who I am because I had no connection other than the skin. Yeah. She said, I look like my people, but I was not like my people. She said this in front of 400 plus people. She said, I didn't have a connection to my people. I didn't know our history. I didn't know our culture. None of it. Her afro was this big.
Yes, sir.
Her sister did not have a connection to her people. So sisters, I recommend you study more of the knowledge of who you are. Learn about your divine connection to God. Learn about your connection to the people, your culture, your original religion, who we were before we became broken, how we were brought over here, etc. We have to learn our history so that when you do look at relationships, you don't generalize all black men because of the mistakes of a few. Just like us brothers, generalizing all black women because of the mistakes of a few. We can't do that to our people. That's a major problem we have, is that we generalize each other too much because we had negative circumstances with one or two or three, and we say all niggas are bad, or the brothers or males will say all these B's or B word ain't
the same. They're all the same, right?
And that's not true. So we have to really come out of that generalizing, because that's really what a devil does. They don't know how to differentiate. They just generalize everything. And I think we'll be able to find more love for each other if we do that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Hold on before you ask a question. We want to take our break and have our commercial break. It's 8:00, dear brother. Kadeem, you would like to take us
Yes,
to the
sir. We again want to thank all of you that are tuning in on YouTube and on Facebook. And again, if you're on YouTube and you have a question, you can definitely type your question in the chat. It would appear right here on our platform. Also, those are on Facebook. If you are, some of us are monitoring our Facebook. If you have a question, you can definitely raise your question on Facebook, and we'd be more than happy to ask our brother your questions. Again, scrolling at the bottom of our screen, please support our podcast. Our Cash App is $JAKQ Bros. That's $JAKQ BROS. That's support the JAKQ Brothers podcast. Again, our Cash App is $JAKQ BROS. Also, please support the #1 Black newspaper in the entire world, the Final Call newspaper. Simply to fcndigital.com. That's fcndigital.com, and subscribe to the Final Call newspaper. You can get it digitally. It will come right to your cell phone, laptop, or tablet every Tuesday. The latest, greatest edition of the #1 Black selling newspaper in the world. Also, download the app for Final Call Radio. You can now listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan 24 hours a day from the comfort of your car, from the comfort of your home, simply by downloading and listening to Final Call Radio. One more time, Final Call Radio. Why not listen to God's man in our midst today? Thank you, Brother Jackie. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, brother. That was a beautiful commercial, brother.
That's you right there, brother. We're going to have to
practice this week, brother.
dub your voice.
Oh, I'm telling you.
On point,
brother. How you had a question?
Well, my question, I want to stay on the subject, but I do want to get a couple of questions related to this subject. But that's just, I don't have a question right now about the subject.
Okay, well, go ahead, brother Kadeem.
We hear, brother Rizza, the phrase "help meet." The woman is the help meet. I have seen and witnessed as a student in the ministry for years in counseling session with various regional ministers, and sitting in on counseling sessions where women become help meet, but later in life feel like they've been devoid of their own goals, dreams, and aspirations. How do we balance that as men to have a woman as a helpmeet, but also know that she has aspired or does aspire to accomplish things in her own life? How do we balance that without making our women to feel like she's given up her entire life just for ours? And in some cases, when men have reached that goal, they leave their woman.
Beautiful point, beloved. Beautiful point. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in his lecture on relationships and the roles of the man and the woman, he spoke on that in particular, and he said, brothers, the woman is to be our helpmeet, meaning she is supposed to help us to meet our obligations, meet our goals, meet our aspirations, and those things that we are striving for as gods. However, he said we are to help her as well, because she has goals, she has aspirations. He brought that up in particularly because sometimes the woman will, in her love for us, in her seeking of being approved and submitting to us and wanting to be truly appreciated and accepted by us, she will give herself over completely to us, as she's only supposed to do to God first, and then a large portion of that over to us, to the degree that we give ourselves over to God. That's the natural order. But she'll do that, and she'll lose herself, lose her aspirations or goals, etc. So what we are to do, as the minister says, is we are supposed to help her to cultivate her goals and help her to work towards those also, while she is helping us in ours. It is a balance. So we are supposed to find importance in her just as she finds importance in us. It's not a big I and little you type deal. I'm the man, so forget what you feel is important about your own life. You help me with mine. That's not what this is about. That's not how this is. It's, yes, I'm the man, but you are the woman. We are supposed to help each other. That's what we sometimes lose, is we must help each other. The son has its own light, but the moon reflects the light of the sun.
Yes. Yes.
So if the sun just left the moon completely, the moon would have no light. So it's like, wait a minute, she's reflecting you. So
That's
she's
right.
brighter to the degree that you are able to shine on her, give her that energy, give her that love, give her that momentum. So we must understand that she will do so much better if we continue to add to her, and she, while she's doing better, will continue to add to us. The Honorable Mr. Farrakhan gave the example. He said, brothers, sometimes y'all come to the mosque and your suit is clean and crisp.
Right, he talked about that. That's
he
right.
said, but your wife and the babies, the shoes is falling off and the garment looking a little dingy. He said, now, that's not how it's supposed to be. He said, you should have a dirty suit on, your collar and everything should be, if anybody's going to be dirty, it should be you, but your family is supposed to look immaculate.
That's right.
The queen is supposed to look immaculate, her garment crisp and beautiful, and the children are supposed to look nice and tidy. And if the budget was on that point to where it was them or you, then you make sure you take care of them first, and we'll understand, because we'll say that brother is a good maintainer of his woman and his family because he made sure that he looked out for them first. So we always have to understand that as a God, meaning one who has force and power, we have to demonstrate that and stop thinking that if we look good only, we do good only, that means we are truly a God. No, a God is going to help to cultivate and create a world that his creation can thrive in. So we have to create that in our own home, because that is our world. So we have to make sure they are taken care of first. That's what the sacrifice is when it comes to being a man. I ain't no husband yet. I just talk to a lot of them.
Well, look, you're doing a good job, brother.
Good job, man.
Hey, I want you to. I got a listener that wants you to go a little deeper though.
Yes, sir.
Let me read the question. It said, can you go into more detail about the woman giving herself to the man to a degree that he gives himself to God?
Oh yes,
absolutely. Great question.
Yes, beautiful question. Yes, I touched on it, but that there, she will help us to be whatever it is that we choose to be. So, for example, when you live in the hood, you will have a woman. If you a drug dealer, she gonna be right there in the passenger seat with your gun loaded up for you while you're driving. She'll be that for you. This is stuff I witnessed living in the hood. You will have her. She'll be that for you because she's looking up to you. But your God is money. Your God is drugs. Your God is that fast lifestyle. So think about it in the opposite. You go into the mosque, you praying, we're fasting, we're exercising, we're studying, we're giving in charity, helping our people, etc. We pushing on the block, what the people doing, we're in this work. She'll be at home making your soup, making sure the children are taken care of, educating them. If she goes to work, she'll be handling her business. She'll come home, make sure everything is handled. Why? Because she is reflecting us. So to that degree that we are submitting ourselves to God, she is submitting herself to us because she sees that we are submitting to God. That's what submission truly is. It ain't, I'm just submitting to you because you're handsome. Yeah, it'll start off like that maybe, but as it progresses and we go through trials, she's going to need something a little deeper. And if she sees that we're working hard and striving towards the supreme being and living our lives better, she has to reflect that it's a natural, scientific, mathematical equation. She can't get away from it. Same way we can't get away from our nature, she can't get away from hers. And the children will fall in line too. We will all be falling in line perfectly. And that is a family that the whole world looks up to. They witness that when they see us operating like that. All they can just say is, man, look at that family. Look at that. Look at God's family. So we brothers have to strive harder to be more like God and submit more to God so that the woman can be proud to submit to us because they stand by us regardless. Another thing that we need to get to our head, they stand by us when we acting a damn fool. Like, really. So if they
follow us to heaven or hell.
Man, come on, man. So if they're standing by us in that situation, let's not disappoint them and make a fool out of them and embarrass them. Let's strive to be more righteous so that they can be proud to stand next to us. And so we have less divorces, less problems, less domestic violence. None of it, ideally, we strive for none of that. But let's move towards that so that our people can be proud of us, man. I'm really tired of us going through all the nonsense when all we need to do is make a U-turn and go back and start striving towards being the righteous rather than some hell raisers that this system has turned us into.
Praise Allah, man.
All right, brother.
Go ahead.
All right, brother Kawi. You said you wanted to go in a different direction. Let's see what you got.
All right. Last time I went in a different direction, brother Rizza, you kind of went in, brother. So I said, let me give him another question like that, at least for this show, you know.
Yes,
Look
sir.
here. Joe Biden just signed the Asian crime hate bill.
Yes, brother. That's why I love this, brother. Go ahead, brother.
I mean, I don't need to say more than that.
Nah.
I just gave it to you right there.
Oh, this brother, hey, come on.
Go ahead, Kawi. Go ahead.
I want you to finish the question because go ahead.
This our politics,
you know, we've been trying to get something like this for years, brother. I mean, we've been marching and singing and you know, but I didn't see not one Asian march. I didn't see not one Asian protest or there's no songs that the Asians made, but they got a hate bill within 60 days of that incident that happened in Atlanta. I mean, it's an insult to us personally, but I want you to chime in on that, brother.
Hold up,
Hey,
and they got a visit from the president and the vice president.
Right.
And before you chime in, brother Rizza, we need everybody that told us to vote for Joe Biden to come to the front of the congregation.
That's right.
You need to come stand in the front of the congregation too, as we talk about this too. All right, go ahead, brother Rizza.
I'll say is on this one here, which is very interesting. A historical point of fact and reference, just before I even respond to that, is it was some of our Chinese family during the Yellow Peril movement who stood with the Black Panthers. It was some of our Chinese family at the time and during the Yellow Peril movement who held a parade for the Black Panthers and brought Huey P. Newton into China to introduce him to some of the leaders who stood for Black people at that time. We've had alliances before. And the sad thing is, those alliances have withered away and have also strategically been severed because could you imagine China supporting Black folks? I'm just saying, right? Just kind of think about that, how that would look for this government. So that's a historical point I want to reference so that people can have the actual facts on that to know that there has been an alliance. However, when it comes to this Asian hate bill, the first thing is I'm very happy that they got it. And why do I say that? Because we need to see what the hell it looks like when a government that hates you continues to give everybody else what it is that you deserve before everybody else deserves it. You need to see that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan ain't never been a liar.
Right.
That the Honorable Elijah Muhammad ain't never been a liar, and that they will continue to have their words be validated in front of your face until we choose to stand up and do something for ourselves. Truly, this enemy is going to keep coming after us, keep giving us injustice, keep slapping us in the face, keep spitting us right in our face over and over again. That was a slap in our face. Absolutely. No doubt about it. However, what is a slap in our face is that we continue to vote for white people for Black freedoms.
That's
we
right.
continue to go to white people for Black liberation, white people for Black salvation, white people for Black equality. It has no point anymore in that direction how we're doing it. Dr. Ava Muhammad said that she and the nation were bringing the program to the steps of the Capitol, that is something that needs to happen. What the Muslims want, what the Muslims believe, specifically what the Muslims want, the 8 to 10 states, with at least one of those states having an outlet to the sea so that we can enter into international trade and commerce. We can have our own territories, our own everything. It's that time for us to push forward, which is why we're pushing for separation, which is different from segregation. Segregation.
Very different.
That a larger power is giving allowance to a smaller one. No, separation is when two equals recognize that they have the right to have their own territory. So we deserve to have our own. That's the point. So for them to get that, one, demonstrated that it can be done. Two, demonstrated that it can be done in no limit of time. 60 days is no limit of time. Number three, it demonstrates that if we simply come together and push it, as the brother was talking about earlier, when it comes to being not only a husband, but when it comes to also being a man, that consistency, Brother Kadeem, is what he said. Consistency is key. We have to stay on it and stay on it until we get it. And if we do that, then we won't even need to hear about any other bills, because we will have accomplished and obtained our own. Now is that time. The separation, that's what it is. I saw them get that. I said, oh, get good. Good. Now, y'all ready yet? Y'all ready? We still going to Are you mad? Are you mad enough to separate to have your own? You see what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. We must not be mad enough because we still going and hanging out and doing. No, bro. If you're mad enough, then you're gonna say, you know what? All right, we're not doing a damn thing with these businesses. We're gonna walk out. We're gonna do whatever we need to do until we get our own everything. That is what they are waiting for. They're waiting for us, really. But we just keep, we march for a couple of days across the whole country, across the whole world for maybe a week or two, and then we go right back to same old, same old.
And then they kill another one of us, like they kill a man years ago, and they're just showing a video yesterday or the day before yesterday. You know, beat this man, and he talking about, I'm scared, I'm your brother. What? Oh my God! And they just showing this video, and that happened a couple of years ago in Louisiana.
Right.
Like, and all see, here's what I think they do too. They'll kill us and say, let's see if they just protest. Protesting is begging the white man for something he cannot naturally give you. So when they killed George Floyd, where was Farrakhan? We ain't doing that.
Oh, come on.
We ain't finna join y'all in begging a cracker to give us no justice.
Let me say this.
You ask where Farrakhan at, when the hell have you ever listened to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan? Stop playing.
Brother, on that point, one, yes, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan has been warning you for the last 60 plus years about this very thing. That's number one. Right. So he's always been there. That's one. Number two, prior to him, the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was doing that. And in between, Brother Malcolm, who was another one of the students, was warning, and all of the disciples from that point, Brother Marcus Garvey, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. It's like, hold on. We have had warners. We have always had warners. It is our hard-headedness and our stubbornness, hard-headed, stiff-necked rebelliousness that has prevented us from simply heeding righteous guidance. That's the first thing. The second thing is, brother, that you brought up, it's like, wait a minute, hold on. You're going to your enemy for something that he can't naturally give to you. Why? You going to this man's bank and saying, give me the money out of your bank that allows you to have a bank.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
Out of your bank. Well, if you take the money out of his bank, he won't have money. Even though it's your money. No, it's your money, but you put it in his bank. So you legitimize him when you should be legitimizing yourself. Have your own. Have your own. Do for self. The most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he said, do for self or suffer the consequences. This is what we are suffering. These are the consequences because we refuse to do something for ourselves. So the overall point is, are we truly, sincerely mad enough now to where we are willing to sacrifice and separate so that we can do something for ourselves? Do we truly want that? Is that what we truly want? That's what we are being tested with right now, because we are not going to have any change under this system of things. He's going to continue to kill us, continue to rob us, continue to do all these things to us until we separate. That's how it is. Moses didn't want to stay in Pharaoh. He told Pharaoh, check this out. The Most High, he told me to tell you, let my people go.
That's it.
He didn't want to integrate with him. He kept saying, let my people go, until the plagues came down. And it was the last one, which was the death of his own son. Because we know that they only respect two things: the loss of money or power and the loss of life.
That's right.
Those two things. Us boycotting is what gets their ear, and them losing life is what gets their ear and attention. So it's these two things. So we have to separate, and the separation financially will help us to be propelled into our own. But they're not going to hear us as long as we continue to turn around and beg them after doing a week of marching. And again, the third point, pardon me, that's what I was going to say. The not marching with people in the streets, the Nation of Islam cannot do that because we are still labeled as a hate group. This is what people don't know. We're labeled as a hate group. So when we go out there during these marches, it is looked upon militarily as two opposing forces, two different militaries. So you have the police out there and the National Guard, and you have the FOI. It's literally looked at now as a theater war. That's what people don't understand. So we can't go out there because we are considered a hate group like the KKK or any of these other groups. So they're going to focus directly on us, and the objective, what people think is being pushed towards, will not be met. because now it's
Absolutely.
two different militaries, and now it is a theater of war. So we can't do that. That's and on top of that, we don't beg, we don't protest, because that is begging. So it's those two main things I want us to really think about when you don't see the FOI out there protesting, but you never come out to help us when you see us out there preventing the guns from killing each other, when you see us out there at the candlelight vigils, you see us pushing the paper, you see us in the street. You don't complain about that when we're out there doing the work, but you complain when you're not out there begging. So I just want to
that's a good point, brother, because we're not into protesting, we are into prevention. That's a very good point, brother. I want to before we close, I wanted, if you will, touch on the movie Buck Breaking. Do you feel like it will fulfill its purpose?
Well, I'll say this, brother. The screening we just did in Atlanta 3 days ago.
This Black America down here, though. This Mecca.
Yes, sir.
Hey, come on, brother. Atlanta. Well, first of all, Atlanta came out in record numbers, brother. We turned that building out. That was the largest event that they had outside of the grand opening, of course, which has had, it was a couple thousand came out to the grand opening of the building, but that had over 400 plus people in the largest room that they had, the warehouse size room. And everyone stood outside. You would think it was a club. If you was driving down the street, you would think it was a club. A Saturday night, and the sun is still out, and you see people all down the street, a long line, brother. You'd be like, man, what are they doing? What are they doing in there? And they were coming to be educated about the knowledge of how the Black family has been destroyed. Think about that. So they came, watched the film, applauded at every single part of it when it acknowledged the unity of the Black family, when it acknowledged that the pushing of homosexuality by this enemy was absolutely wrong and that we are not a part of that agenda, when it talked about the Black man being masculine and protecting his family, when it talked about the woman being a divine feminine and that she should submit to the man and be together with the man, they should submit to each other under righteous principle. All these things were being applauded. The people stood up, was like, that's what, thank you, yes, yes, yes. And then the Q&A brought out some of the most beautiful people down that center aisle, and there was not one comment, question that showed any division whatsoever. Everything went towards, we need to do better as Black men. Sisters, we need to do better as sisters. We have to come together. We love our men. Sisters, we love each other. Brothers, we know about these weaves and all that. We wear them because we think that's what y'all want. I mean, bro, it was some beautiful revelations happening in that room, and it was evolutionary in the consciousness of the total spiritual movement within those walls, brother. It was transformative. So I would say statistically, from being there, that it absolutely brought the problems to the forefront in a cinematic form, to where the people were they were forced to just look at themselves. Sisters had to look at themselves, brothers had to look at themselves, and just look at each other like, you know what, we got work to do. It was humbling for everybody in that room.
How can I get to see it now since it's already been shown?
Yes, sir. Buckbreakingmovie.com. Buckbreakingmovie.com. This weekend we have it in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
On the 30th, Baltimore, Maryland, and we are now. It's on tour now. We're going on tour with this. I think we're hitting about 40 cities, maybe a little more than that. Myself, Tariq Nasheed, and a few others, and it's. I mean, brothers, you'll see. You'll see. It's about to be all over the place, inshallah.
Okay. Well, look, brother.
This is revolution. Run it.
Yes, sir.
The nation is heavily present in the film. Myself, brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad, we're both in there representing, beautifully by Allah's permission. And yes, sir, it's amazing.
Okay, well, praise be to Allah. Well, look, brotherhood. I don't know. Can I be heard?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. You can run it.
All right. So look, we're about to shut it down. We're about to land this plane, but we want to thank Allah for your visit, brother. Rizza. Before we give you your last words, brother, you have shown us so much love. This is your second time coming to the show. You have showed us love, and we appreciate it. So if you would, just bow your head just a little slightly. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna knight you and enroll you into the JAKQ Nation, dear brother. Just hold on.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, you are officially, brother, a JAKQ Nation, part of JAKQ Nation. So we want to send this. This is your badge, brother.
That's right. Yes, sir.
We want to give a shout out to brother student minister Ishmael Muhammad, who wore the the JAKQ Nation bow tie.
That's right.
Last Sunday. So
Praise be
we're gonna get that to you, brother. That will be your badge, brother. So when you wear that, brother, they know, okay, that brother in JAKQ Nation.
We should have made his red, because I ain't never saw Brother Rizza outside of his black suit and his red bow tie.
And that red bow tie, bro.
I was saying to myself, I said that brother might have about 20 black suits. He ain't got no blue, he ain't got no gray, he don't wear nothing but that black. And it's almost like your signature, so don't ever change it. Yeah, because that's you. That's like your Black Panther. I'm not gonna call it Superman. He was a crack on TV. That's like your Black Panther uniform, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So praise be to Allah. So brother, brother Rizza, would you give us your last words?
I'll just say I thank Allah to see again the progress of us as a people, as a brotherhood, sisterhood, and as a nationhood, because it is happening. It's happening all over the place. We haven't promoted it as much as it should be promoted, but we are progressing, brother. We are moving. We are building. It is happening. As the saying once said, or once was, prior to 75, it was, "Up, you mighty nation, you can accomplish what you will." And that is exactly what is being done. They just don't want us to see it. They don't want us to promote it and show it to each other, but it is happening, brother. The division is falling. The unity is increasing. We are buying up land. A lot of brothers and sisters are touching money now. Families are doing better. Even in the midst of this pandemic, Allah has provided blessings in the midst of so many trials. So the beauty that I'm noticing is that we are coming together. We are building. And if we continue to focus more on that, it will be duplicated more by everyone else. If they notice more black families are doing well, if they notice the brothers are protecting the sisters, they notice the sisters are loving and supporting the brothers. If you keep promoting that type of energy, it's going to become infectious like a virus, brother. It's going to just keep multiplying because it continues to be seen. That's all it is. We say left face, right face. If you keep seeing this stuff, you're going to start doing it yourself. You're going to be like, I don't know why, but I feel like, I don't know, opening the door for a sister. I feel like respecting somebody. I feel like getting a business. I don't know. I feel like growing my own food. That has to be something that becomes normal, like all the other negative stuff was normal. So I thank Allah, brothers, and I thank Allah for all the FOI, all the MGT who are doing something, because we all as individuals have a specialty. We have something that we can contribute to the mission and the overall movement. All of us do. All of us do. And that's something we also need to look at, is how can we find our purpose, and how can we use that purpose towards the elevation of the movement, towards the building of our nation. All of us have something that we can contribute. We simply have to find out what it is. So I thank Allah, and I just continue to thank you, the brothers on this show, because you've provided another platform for me to come on to, man. They keep trying to take me off everywhere else. But I know I'm at home when I come to my brother's show.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Anytime
we
you
should
need
make this a
platform,
quarterly
you can
event.
come here, brother. Anytime.
Yes, sir.
I mean, look, word is bond. Look, you invited me again. I'm here. So come on.
Yes,
I'm not going to turn you down now. So just know that.
Yes, sir. All right, there, brother Kawi. Any final words?
Oh, yes, sir. First of all, I'd like to thank Brother Rizza for coming to the show, brother. Hey, man, you electrifying, brother. You're electrifying, man. So, I mean, you all over the place. You put in your work, and you clearly are very effective at what you do, because of the all I keep hearing about was what the turnout was in Atlanta, and I saw a lot of pictures. Even T.I. came to see. I heard. So,
yes.
So just keep doing what you're doing, man. We need voices like you in the community. Every time I ask somebody outside of the state of Atlanta, how did you hear about Islam? They say, "Oh, I was checking out Rizza Islam videos."
Wow.
And so you are effective beyond, I mean, you're more effective than you can possibly believe, brother. Stay humble. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Allah got you.
Yes, sir.
That's what I got, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother Kawi. Brother Kadeem.
Yes, sir. Brother, you our celebrity. I'm happy to be a part of our nation. This is our celebrity, not one that's chasing white women. This is our movement. One of our
again, brother.
That's real talk. No, that's real talk, because we just had the conversation about how when some people rise to power and glory, see, it takes a moral man. You can't be an immoral man and rise to power and not be even, forget chasing white women, not be a manipulator of women. So I admire you, brother, young brother, doing your thing, man, and stay humble, keep doing what you're doing, man, and Allah is going to continue to bless you. And again, you can come to this platform anytime. You come to Atlanta, something going on, something ain't right, call us, bro. We'll show up. You know, I mean, I'm gonna come. I'm the radical in the group. No, I'm
next time you're in Atlanta, man.
I'm the most guy in the group.
That's right.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. All right, JAKQ Nation. There's as our scholar and friend, DJ Khaled says, another one.
That's right.
That was another one. A lot of information. We'd like you to like and share that video. And we hope that you continue to support JAKQ Nation, JAKQ Brothers, and our brother Rizza Islam as we greet you all in peace. Y'all be safe out there, and don't forget to respect and protect Black women.
Hold up, before you go, Jackie, can we make next week announcement?
Next week announcement, we are having our brother. I can't even think his name, brother. I wouldn't name
That's right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You had a whole man moment.
Hey man, we got it on camera too, brother.
Yeah,
You're gonna be on our bloopers video.
Yeah, that's a blooper reel. Yeah, but we got our brother Akbar with the historian, our international representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. But he's our historian as well.
Hold on. What's his name?
Come on.
Brother Akbar Muhammad.
What's the Honorable Minister Louis? Who?
Thank you, brother. Thank you. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, sir. Praise
Farrakhan.
That's right.
I know you on, brother Jamil. We haven't forgot. Thank you, brother Kadeem.
Yes, sir.
We want to pronounce his name correctly. Praise be to Allah. So we have our brother on next week, inshallah. So it's it's guaranteed to be a great show. If you want to know the history of the Nation of Islam and others, man, our brother is the brother to act. So may Allah continue to bless us, brother. Thank you, brother Kawi, for the reminder. May Allah bless you all with a safe. Well, you are at home. We're in your house. Praise be to Allah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Brother, don't leave the show, brother Rizza. Really, brother Jackie? Brother Jackie will mess up a pool party.
Hey man, just close the show, bro.
Yeah, man, I'm ending the show right now, brother Jackie.